Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you are new here. Today I want to test out a few new products for you guys. This isn't going to be a full entire face of new products just because I didn't have new foundations and concealers I wanted to try out, but I did have some products I wanted to test, so I went ahead and did a first impression of some products, but I wanted to also give you guys a really simple, easy makeup look. It's about 5 minutes using some new products, so we're going to test those out and get a little tutorial along the way. Enjoy, guys. Okay, so I went ahead and already applied my eyebrows and cleaned them up with just normal concealer. We don't have a concealer to try out today, so I just did my normal routine as always. So to get started with foundation, because I do want this to be a look that you guys can recreate as well, I'm going to be using my Nivea Post Shave Balm. I absolutely love this for primer. It just does a great job. And I just apply this straight onto my bare face with my fingers. You can also use a sponge or something like that to apply it. And I'm gonna use this cute little clip that I got from Charming Charlie to pin back my hair today just to keep it out of the way, but also I'm loving these cute little clips. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using an old foundation, but it is a really awesome one. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 foundation, and this is in the shade Ivory. I love this foundation also because I don't have to set it, and it provides me a really good amount of coverage. It's not sticky or anything, and just looks beautiful all day. Next, I'm actually going to be using a cream contour stick. This is a Wet n Wild dual-ended stick. It has one side that is supposed to be a highlighter and then one side that is a contour color, and this is in the shade Medium Light. I actually got the inspiration to buy this off of the Kim Kardashian West makeup sticks. Those are beautiful, but they are awfully pricey, and I kind of agree that you don't get much product. And we're gonna see how this works. I've actually never used a cream contour stick at all. It has the one side that has the really pretty contour shade. I think that's actually gonna work really nicely on my skin. And then this is the highlight shade. This is like almost pure white, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work on my skin. It might be too light. I might just use it to like highlight my nose or something, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna use this cream contour where I would normally contour. I'm gonna put it in the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm gonna apply it on the sides of my forehead. I'm also going to take this underneath my lip. This will make your lip look poutier. And then I'm going to run this on the sides of my nose as well. And then just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to try out the highlight side because I do want to see how the actual consistency and everything is of the cream. But I do think that this shade is too light for me, as you can. To blend that out, I'm going to try 2 different ways. I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, but I'm also going to be using this dual fiber kind of flexible brush. This is really super flexible. So I'm going to go in with this first, and I'm going to work in light circular motions to blend this out. And then on this side, I'm going to use my sponge. After doing that with the brush and a sponge, I definitely think the sponge worked because it is a little bit harder and can kind of move the product, where the brush was having a really hard time blending out my lines just because I don't think it was like tough enough. I'm gonna also use my sponge to blend out the rest of this. Okay, so I think that contour shade actually blended out really nicely. I'm not a fan of the highlight one. I just don't think that it's the right tone for my skin. It's like almost white, and that's kind of weird for a medium light contour, and especially because the contour does match my skin tone pretty well. I think that this is just a little bit too light. Also, it doesn't provide any sort of coverage, so it's definitely not a concealer. It is just a highlighter, and I think it didn't do anything good for my skin, so I could definitely skip on the highlighting part, but I do like the contour so far. But because that obviously did not conceal, I am going to go with my concealer. This is my Wet n Wild Photofocus concealer. As always, I always use this one. And this is really light as well. Perfect. I'm also going to use this contour stick to add a little definition to my bottom lash line and also in my crease. I saw Kim Kardashian do this, and I did think it was a really cool technique. So I'm just going to use this stick. It is a little fat for this, so that's okay. And I'm going to run this on my bottom lash line. I'll also put this into the crease. And then I'm just going to lightly blend it out with a brush. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of my Coty Airspun powder to set my under eyes. And whenever I say a little, I actually mean a lot. So moving on, we're going to be using this Wet n Wild contour palette I have used this before, but mine broke like a week after I got it and I just never replaced it. So this is in the shade Dulce de Leche, and it has a dark contour and then a light highlight. And I actually think that this shade will work really well for underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna use that to wipe off this bake. But first, while we're letting that set, I'm going to use the contour shade right over my cream contour. To keep it in the Wet n Wild realm, I'm gonna also just use my Wet n Wild angled brush and get a, ooh, this is very, very powdery. I don't know if you, I barely even touched it and there's a lot of kickback. So definitely be careful of that. That's pigmented. And then I'm going to use the lighter shade to wipe off some of this bake. I'm just going to pick up a little bit and then flick this off. And with that done, I do think that the cream contour and this powder actually layered really nicely. It's not patchy or anything weird like that, and I did not set the cream contour with actual powder, just using this. I think that they blended really beautifully. I actually love this shade, but you do have to use a very, very light hand with the contour color because it can get really pigmented really fast. But even the highlight shade in this is really awesome, so I'm really into this palette. I love it. Moving on, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the shimmery blush in my backup palette just because it's right here in front of me and I feel like I need a little bit of blush, so I'm just applying this. And then to quickly do eyes, I want to keep this super, super simple, so I'm going to be using 2 shadow shades, and I am actually going to dip into my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I clearly love Wet n Wild, guys. It's kind of an obsession. They're affordable, but they're really amazing, so that's why I continue to buy Wet n Wild, and their products really speak for themselves because they do compare to high-end products, in my opinion. So I'm going to quickly use this eyelid shade just on a Morphe E13 brush, and I'm going to actually pop this on the outer half of my eyelid. We did use that contour shade in the crease, so I'm kind of using that as my crease shade. So I'm just going to use this on the outer third of my eyelid, kind of work it lightly into the crease as well. And then I'm going to go in with this brow bone shade right over the top of the center and then into the inner corner of my eye. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow looks because it literally takes 3 seconds but adds so much light to your eyes and gives them a little bit of attention with the little bit of shimmer that you're applying. I think it looks so beautiful, especially in summer, because it really just catches that light, makes you look nice and bronzy. And it looks like you put a lot of effort into your makeup, but you really didn't because it literally takes 2 seconds. That's all we're gonna do for the eyes. I am going to curl my eyelashes. And then for mascara today, I'm going to be trying out this Wet n Wild Mega Lash Mascara. I have tried this on my bottom lashes, but I've never used it as a full mascara on top and bottom. You guys know that I've been obsessed with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. Hands down my favorite. So this does have a lot of competition, but it was only like $1.99, maybe if that. So this is a lot more affordable. We'll see how it compares. It does say megalength, so I'm expecting it to give me really long lashes. So if it doesn't give me the most full lashes, that's okay. We're judging it on the length since that's what it claims to be. This wand is super tiny, like the CoverGirl Super Sizer Mascara, which I actually really love. I think I ran out of that and just have never repurchased it. Oh man, guys. Okay, so I do think that actually did a pretty good job of giving me long lashes. I would definitely not say this is my favorite mascara, but it's not horrible. Let me zoom you up real fast so you can get a better look. This is just on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom. Okay, so this is the mascara with 1 coat on the top and bottom. I do think it did a pretty good job. I mean, it is a very inexpensive mascara, so it definitely worked. I would not say that this is the worst mascara I've ever used in a long shot, but I don't think it gave me the longest lashes my lashes have ever been. And I found that as I kept applying more and more, just like a normal amount of mascara that I would normally go with, it was kind of getting heavier on my lashes and making them clump together a little bit more. So I would say definitely like less is more with this mascara. And if you apply a very thin coat, you are going to get a very long natural look, which I think can be really pretty for days that you are wearing very minimal makeup and you just want some long lashes. I don't think that this is the worst option. And for highlighter today, I'm going to be using another Wet n Wild product. I'm sorry guys, I did not plan this. It just happens that a lot of the new products that I did purchase are Wet n Wild. I really love that brand. So this is a Precious Petals highlighter. I have used this before and I can kind of tell you my thoughts on it, but I don't think I've ever used it on camera, so I want to show you guys how it works. And for this, I'm just going to be using a Morphe Y14 brush. This is my normal highlight. Whoa! My normal highlighter brush. Okay, so my thoughts on this highlighter. This is in the shade Precious Petals, which I believe is the lighter shade of the two that you can find like in stores. I haven't seen the purple one, and then I think there's another one. I haven't seen those in stores yet, so I don't know if they will be on stores or just online. But I will say that this highlight looks really gorgeous if you have a little bit more of a tan. On my lighter days, whenever I'm not self-tanned, this is completely too dark. If I turn my head in the light, it does give me that reflex that looks beautiful, but then looking straight on, it looks dark on my cheeks. So if you're someone that is light skin tone, I'm so sorry, this probably is not going to work for you. It does just pick more of the darker shade in this highlight, but whenever you do have a tan going on or just even darker skin tone, it does look beautiful. It does look pretty blinding, and I really do like it. I continue to use it whenever I am tan, so it's not a horrible highlighter. Just beware if you are a little bit more fair. Okay, and I think the last thing we have to do before I set my face is going to be lips. Today I'm going to be using the Revlon Lasting Finish Kiss Lip Stay Contour Pencil. That was like a really long name. I'm not sure if all of that's the name, but this is in the shade Spice. I believe that this is the color that Patrick Star uses, and that's actually why I picked it up. It always looks so beautiful on his skin, but obviously he does have a very deeper skin tone than myself. So we are going to be trying it on a little bit lighter skin tone, but he raves about this color, so I wanted to pick it up. I obviously use this lip pencil all over my lips, and I do feel like this is gonna stay on because the texture of it is not very creamy in a bad way. It did glide on well, but it's definitely drying. It's more of those dry lip pencils, so I do think it's gonna last. I don't know how I feel about this color. Over the top of it, I'm gonna be using this Wet n Wild lip balm in the shade Love. This one is very pink. The box to me looks more like a rosy mauve. I guess it kind of looks the same. Yeah, it totally looks the same actually. Well, I just had something different in my mind, so we are gonna pop this on. And I actually have used this lip balm before, and I absolutely love it. I think it's actually a really good lip balm. It's super inexpensive. It's only like $1.93 or something like that. Super inexpensive and really awesome. I would definitely recommend getting the clear transparent one that they have if you are just gonna use it as a lip balm. If you like a little bit of color to your skin, go ahead and get a colored one. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but this is the actual color of it. So whenever I have this on bare lips, and I don't have any makeup on, it does look a little bit too much, so that's why I want the transparent one. But if you just have like a little bit of BB cream on and you want your lips to pop a little bit, this is actually a really pretty color. And then to set all of this, I'm just going to be using my Wet n Wild setting spray as always. I love to do this at the end of all my makeup. That way it melts all the powders and blushes and bronzers and everything into my skin and just makes it look really smooth and natural. And that is it for this mini tutorial slash first impression of some products. Quickly, I just want to overview what I purchased and what I was trying out today. So this contour stick from Wet n Wild, I do really love it. I think that it is a good contour stick. If you're not really into cream contour, this would be a great one to start out with. I do think the color is actually really beautiful on my skin. Again, this is in the light medium. I do think I could also use the medium dark, especially whenever I'm tan like this. And I do think that the highlight shade would match my skin a lot better. The highlight shade in this one was very pale white, so I wasn't a fan of that, but the contour itself was pretty good, and it's only like $4 or $5. So that's a pretty good deal. This contour palette from Wet n Wild, this contour highlight, I absolutely love this. I'll be using this again for sure. The bronzer blended beautifully on my skin. It gave me a nice warm tone without being orange. I don't feel orange, I don't think I look orange, and it just bronzed up my skin really nicely. It also sat over the contour kit really amazingly. It didn't pull or streak or like create patches or anything like that. I do think the highlight powder was super creamy. It wiped away my highlight really well and just left my under eyes bright and fresh. So I think that palette is a huge win. This mascara from Wet n Wild, it's not bad, but it's definitely not my favorite mascara. It is really affordable, so you can take a look at my lashes for yourself and decide if this is something you would like. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter in Precious Petals. Again, this is really beautiful for the right skin tone. I just don't want you to go into it thinking, if you are a little bit more fair, that this is gonna work for you. It looks pretty fair in the container. This looks like it would work for me, but if I'm a little bit more fair, it doesn't work. So if you're someone that is my skin tone or deeper right now, you're gonna like this a lot. If you are fair, obviously pass on this. And for this lip combo, this is the Rimmel Lasting Lip Pencil in the shade Spice. I don't like this for my skin tone. I just don't like the color. I don't really care for the consistency because it is a little bit more waxy. We'll see how long this wears, and I will leave it in my comment box down below to see if I do think that it's long lasting. And without the balm on top, it is super drying. So if you're someone that kind of likes a more dry lip liner that's gonna stay on all day, that's gonna not really bleed too much, you might actually really like this. I'm just not a big fan of it. I think also because I'm not a big fan of the shade itself. So that might be one of the biggest reasons why I'm not a big fan of this liner. And then last but not least is this Wet n Wild Pout and Love Lip Balm. And I actually really love this. I do want to go pick it up in the transparent shade because I do feel like whenever I'm not wearing makeup and I want a lip balm, I do just want that transparent color rather than this little color. But over the top of this lip liner, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's not causing my lip liner to like shift and move and become greasy at all. It just feels really hydrated and moisturized on my lips. So I'm actually really into this. I would recommend this as a chapstick. And with that being said, this is the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this really quick little demo of easy makeup, but also including some new products. And hopefully I can give you guys a good, honest review of what I thought of these products using them my first time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.